This video has spoilers for the Eternals, so don't watch if you haven't seen the movie yet. So, Marvel's newest movie, The Eternals, came out in theaters, and I figured I'd make a review of it. So, to give a quick rundown, around 7,000 years ago, a group of very powerful beings known as the Eternals were sent to Earth by the Celestials. They were sent there to kill a group what is known as the Deviants, as well as help mankind develop. After they were all defeated, the Eternals were never told to go back home, so they ended up just living a life on Earth. And 7,000 years later, a sudden earthquake started happening after the snap, which brought back half the population. The Deviants also returned, however, now they can heal themselves and they can basically suck the powers out of the Eternals. They set out to kill the Deviants, however, along this way they find out that the group of Celestials that sent them actually sent them to increase the population of the Earth. And basically, when a planet has enough population, it allows a Celestial to be born in the core of the planet. But when it is born, it causes the planet to be destroyed, as well as all the people on it. So the Eternals then set out to stop the Celestial from being born. Now, I will immediately eat my words, since in my trailer batch reviews video that I did on this, I said this. Also, this movie comes out 2 days after my birthday, and I'll be mad if someone gets me tickets as a birthday gift. And yes, someone did give me tickets as a birthday gift. However, I am not mad now, because I actually really like the movie. Honestly, it's probably my favorite piece of MCU content that we've gotten this year. I mean, there's not much competition besides, like, Shang-Chi, but that's about it. So I guess I'd get into the things that I like, and then I'll get into the things I didn't like as much. So, starting off, I'll say that I really didn't like any of the actual Eternals. I felt like each one of them had something memorable about them, whether that was their power or that was something that was just in their personality. The only one who I didn't really feel had much personality was Ajak, but that's because she fucking died. But I liked the rest of them, and all of them at least had a minor role in the story, which I thought was good. My favorite character is probably Makari, but that's just because I like her relationship with the other characters. And the way her speed was used was pretty cool. There were also a lot of action scenes that I liked, and I was never really bored by any of them, which kind of surprised me. To be fair, there's not a whole lot of action in the movie, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But the trailers really did this movie dirty in terms of how it felt like the pacing was going to be. The trailers made it seem like this film was just going to be boring and have, like, next to no character work. Also, because this movie has, like, really good cinematography and a lot of scenes really stick out for me. An example is this shot, which was all over the marketing, and now I can see why, because it's easily one of the most emotionally significant scenes in the movie. This film probably has some of my favorite cinematography shots in any MCU movie. Like, even the people who don't really like this movie at least praise the cinematography, or usually they do at least, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I guess that's it for positives. I guess I'll go on to my negatives now. I feel like the most common one is that the villain fucking sucks. At least this guy does. Icarus is pretty good, however, Jesus Christ, this man sucks. He's like barely in the movie and he doesn't do anything. I can't fathom how little this guy does. Also, I thought some character motivations were weird. For example, Sprite in the third act switches sides and goes with Icarus when he's revealed to be a villain because she loves him. She's like 7,000 or 7 million years old, but she can't really love anyone because she's in a child's body. Like, I get that. She's a 7,000-year-old woman inside a child's body. But it's a little hard to get behind her and kind of understand what she's trying to say because she's joining a guy who's gonna kill all her friends. Like, what the fuck? Same also goes for Fastos. He's basically like the intelligent guy of the group, and he's the one who like makes all the technology to help the humans advance. And he ended up building the atomic bomb, which caused Hiroshima, and this caused him to basically give up on humanity. However, his faith was restored due to his boyfriend and his son. But then when he's called to be recruited on the Eternals again, he denies that at first because he wants to take care of his son. And that's odd because the fate of the world is at stake, and there won't be a son if you don't help. But then he helps anyway for basically no reason, and I was kind of confused about that. Granted, I've only seen the film once, so both these issues could just be because of the fact that I've only seen it once, but I don't know. Also, Athena has like this thing where her mind gets wiped every now and then, and they don't really do anything with this. Like, it's kind of explored, I guess, but it's overall pretty inconsequential to the actual plot of the movie. And again, they don't really do anything with it. But I guess that's all I really have to say about this movie. I quite liked it. It's probably my favorite thing in Phase 4 so far, and honestly, it might be my favorite thing since Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which is my favorite MCU movie. So overall, I'd give Eternals a 9 out of 10. I don't know.